Hello everyone, and welcome to Earth Archives. If you enjoy turning psychology into stories instead of lectures, remember to like and subscribe to our channel first. Share this with that friend who's been stressed about money but hasn't said a word, because today's content might touch the deepest, most uncomfortable truths inside many people. Let's get straight to the point. I'll ask a very direct, and possibly uncomfortable question. Why do you think for most people, money becomes one of life's toughest spiritual lessons?
Because money is never just money. It's the most honest mirror of your inner world. Carl Jung would say that everything you think you're chasing outside is often a reflection of what hasn't yet been seen inside. Money occupies a particularly harsh position. It simultaneously touches survival, security, value, love, dignity, power, fear, and shame. You can pretend not to care about many things, but very few can truly be indifferent to money. As soon as you start talking about it, your unconscious begins to speak, and it speaks very loudly.
But haven't we been taught since childhood to work hard, earn money, and become successful? Why does a path society praises so much become a form of spiritual suffering?
That's exactly where Jung was sharpest. He said, when a path receives universal praise and approval, you need to be especially careful. It often means you're replacing individual truth with collective values. Modern society tells us, if you work hard enough, if you're smart enough, if you push yourself enough, you'll succeed, you'll be respected, you'll be safe, you'll be free. So we invest all our energy, time, emotions, and health into that path. But here's the problem. That path rarely asks you one question. Who are you? What do you truly want? And does your soul agree with the way you're living?
So you're saying that when people claim they want money, it's often not really about money?
Almost never. This is a truth many spend a lifetime avoiding. Jung said, when you aren't aware of your real motives, you project them onto a seemingly reasonable goal. Money is a perfect projection object. Rational enough, legitimate enough, socially acceptable enough. You can say you're working for your family, your future, your freedom, or your security. But if you're honest, what you're really chasing is recognition, validation, no longer being ignored. Proof that you deserve to exist.
That sounds harsh. So what we're really doing when we work for money is trying to patch some inner void?
Exactly. And the crueler truth is, money can never truly fill that void. If you don't know what the void is, Jung said it bluntly. You might think more achievement will make you whole, but if your inner child grew up believing, I'm only worthy if I perform well, no amount of money will truly relax your nervous system. You live under an invisible fear. If I stop, if I'm not good enough, if I fail, I lose my value.
That explains why people who seem very successful on the outside are often deeply anxious in private.
Precisely. This is where the real spiritual test begins. When you finally acquire what you thought would make you safe, you may feel even more exhausted, fearful, and empty. Jung would say it's not because you did something wrong, it's because your soul is reminding you. You've gone too far without looking back at yourself. You start living through roles, the successful one, the provider, the professional, the strong one, instead of living as a whole person.
You just mentioned roles, and I really resonate with that. Can you elaborate a bit more?
Of course. Jung called it the persona. Each of us needs a mask to survive in society, but the problem isn't having a mask. It's mistaking the mask for yourself. Money makes this especially dangerous because it constantly rewards a certain image. You'll notice that as long as you fit a particular success template, you're applauded, envied, needed. Gradually, you start trimming away parts of yourself that don't fit the image. Your vulnerability, your confusion, your uncertainty, your playfulness, your slower pace. Over time, you become someone highly efficient, but hardly alive.
That feeling is hard to describe, like you have everything, yet nothing at all.
That's what Jung called soul exhaustion. And capitalism excels at one thing: repackaging that exhaustion into you're not working hard enough. So you blame yourself again, push forward, and are never allowed to stop and ask, if I had none of these titles, income, or achievements, what would I have left? Who am I?
Then what about the concept of financial freedom? Many people treat it as life's ultimate goal.
Financial freedom isn't inherently wrong. But if you're internally not free, it only becomes a more sophisticated prison. True freedom isn't never having to work again. It's not needing to prove your worth through performance. Jung said, if your self-worth is tied to any external condition, that condition becomes your master.
So money almost feels like a psychological trial.
It is, and it's an honest, relentless trial. Every unhealed childhood experience, every repressed fear, every belief about scarcity and shame will surface in your interactions with money. Some people overspend when anxious. Some hoard no matter how much they have. Some are always on the verge of success, but sabotage themselves at the critical moment. These aren't financial problems. They're the shadow speaking.
You mentioned the shadow. That's a key Jungian concept, right?
Yes. The shadow is the part of us we're taught shouldn't exist. If someone grows up hearing, being rich is greedy, wanting more is bad, money corrupts people, then when they start approaching success as adults, internal conflict arises. They simultaneously crave abundance and fear becoming a bad or disliked person. The safest way, unconsciously, is to sabotage themselves just as success is within reach.
So many of these so-called financial blockages are really the psyche protecting itself?
Exactly. And that's why this is a spiritual lesson. It asks you to stop blaming yourself and start understanding yourself. Jung said the purpose of psychology isn't to make you perfect, it's to make you whole. Being whole means acknowledging that within you coexist the part that desires money and the part that fears it. Healing isn't about choosing sides. It's about allowing these two parts to have a dialogue.
That sounds way harder than just working hard to earn money.
It is harder, but also freer. Once you see it clearly, you're no longer led by the unconscious. You no longer need money to escape self-reflection. You no longer need busyness to numb the inner void. Only then can money shift from being a scorecard to being a tool.
If someone truly realizes that all these years of chasing money were really about filling an inner void, what should they do next? Honestly, just realizing this can already feel pretty unsettling.
Feeling unsettled is completely normal. It's the first time you haven't immediately tried to work harder, to push away that uncomfortable feeling. Jung would say anxiety isn't the enemy, it's a signal. It's telling you that some old psychological structures can no longer support your life as it is now. And the first step isn't about changing how you earn money. It's about stopping the moral judgment of your own ambition. Many people hear themselves think, I actually really want money, and immediately feel shame, guilt, or think they're shallow. But you need to remember, desire itself is never the problem. The problem is why you need it.
So it's not about suppressing desire, but understanding desire?
Exactly. This is a crucial turning point. You need to learn to listen to your ambition, not just use it blindly. Ask yourself, what does the part of me that wants to earn a lot of money really want? Is it security? Choice? The ability to finally stop? Freedom from having to please others? Proof that I am not worthless? When you're willing to face those answers honestly, ambition stops being a monster and becomes a map.
But many people would say, if I don't push myself now, won't I end up achieving nothing?
That's fear trained by capitalism at its finest. Jung would say, when you only have one survival strategy, that strategy becomes a tyrant. In fact, earning money in alignment with your soul doesn't mean giving up effort. It means stopping the use of fear as fuel. Fear can make you run fast, but it will burn you out. When you start driving action with value, meaning, and authenticity, you become steadier, more sustainable, and far more creative.
How can I tell if I'm truly working hard, or just performing to prove myself?
Ask yourself an honest question. If no one saw this, praised it, or loved me more because of it, would I still want to do it? Many people fall silent when they hear this question, because they realize it's been a long time since they've acted purely out of passion. Most of the time, they've been responding to external expectations, market pressures, comparisons, and the fear of falling behind.
From what you're saying, healing your relationship with money is really about healing the question, am I worthy?
Exactly. That's why money becomes a spiritual test. It forces you to confront a core question you might want to avoid. If I had nothing, would I still be worthy of respect? Would I still be worthy of love? Would I still be worthy of living? Many people spend a lifetime trying to answer this, yet never realize it's not a question that can be solved with achievement.
So how would you suggest someone begin to truly heal their money story?
I'd say start with 3 seemingly small but actually profound steps. First, revisit your earliest memories around money, not numbers, but feelings. When did you first feel lack? When did money first make you feel shame? Did your family link money to security or to fear? Speaking these memories aloud releases them from silently controlling you.
Many people have probably never thought about this before.
Exactly, but your nervous system remembers. Second, recognize your inner performer, the part of you that learned to please, prove, and hold everything together to avoid being abandoned, denied, or looked down upon. Thank that part because it once saved you, but also let it know you no longer need to trade pain for value.
That actually sounds really gentle.
Healing should be gentle. Third, redefine what abundance means in your heart. If abundance is only about money, your world will inevitably shrink. But when you include time, health, relationships, creativity, and inner peace in your definition of abundance, earning money stops being a zero-sum game and becomes a flow.
Will someone like that still make money? This is probably what most people worry about.
That's an honest question. My answer is yes, and usually in a more sustainable, less distorted way. When you stop working just to fill a wound and start creating real value, you attract people who resonate with you, not people who drain or exploit you. Jung said the greatest privilege in life is to become your true self. When you walk that path, money often shows up in unexpected ways.
So making money can actually be a spiritual path?
Yes, as long as you're willing to bring your whole self, including your fears, desires, shadows, and gifts, not just the version that looks successful. True wealth isn't the number in your bank account. It's finally not having to give up yourself to be loved.
If someone listening is starting to reconsider their own money journey, what would you say to them?
I'd say it's okay to slow down. Confusion isn't failure. You're not behind, you're waking up. And on this path, the most important thing isn't how fast you move. It's whether you become more yourself with every step.
If something in this resonated with you, feel free to share in the comments one old belief about money you're in the process of letting go. Maybe one sentence from you could spark someone else's awakening.
And if you enjoy this kind of content that connects psychology, spirituality, and real life, remember to subscribe, like, and share with someone who might need it. This isn't about teaching you to be better. It's about accompanying you to be more authentic.